I'm Captain James M. Perry, the commanding officer of the U.S. Army Parachute Team. We're a comparatively new and small unit, but you'll be hearing a great deal about us from now on. As an agency of the Continental Army Command, we represent the Army in sports parachute competition. In the international field, members of the Army Parachute Team have captured numerous trophies, many held previously by Iron Curtain countries. Additionally, every year we stage hundreds of demonstrations from coast to coast in the sport known as skydiving. We also give instruction to military teams of allied nations in delayed jump techniques. In addition, the Army Parachute Team is responsible for continuous research and development in the tactical applications of this particular skill. Before we take you into this exhilarating world of the Army skydiver, let's look at some of the early history of parachuting. Here's a model based on the first known design, sketched by Leonardo Da Vinci in the 15th century. It never was tested. The first successful parachute drop came 300 years after Leonardo's design. A French balloonist named Jacques Garnerin jumped from 2,000 feet over Paris, descending safely as shown in the drawing of this event. Mr. Benjamin Franklin, who was then our ambassador to France, witnessed Mr. Garnerin's experiment. Inspired by the feat, Franklin wrote a report suggesting that the United States create a corps of 5,000 parachute balloons, each one of them capable of carrying 2 soldiers to be dropped in combat behind the enemy lines. And so the idea for airborne infantry originated with an American. Now let's see how this inspiration led to our paratroop force of today and to the establishment of the United States Army Parachute Team.
Each member of the 20-man Army Parachute Team has made over 350 jumps, but nothing is taken for granted. Equipment is constantly checked and rechecked. Last-minute instructions from their commander before takeoff. For extended free-fall maneuvers, the skydivers must go above the 10,000-foot level. The higher the altitude, the more time for maneuvers on the way down. Free fall in skydiving involves a considerable time lapse before the jumper opens his parachute. Using only his body to control his movements, this member of the U.S. Army Parachute Team is performing basic free fall maneuvers. A highly developed skill of Army skydivers is formation flying. Precise manipulation of their bodies while in free fall allows the men to perform various movements in unison. As many as 6 men have been used in similar maneuvers, illustrating superb mastery of airspace. Experiments in coordination during free fall, such as the firing of a signal pistol, emphasize the skydiver's complete control. Here is another member of the parachute team with some improvised free fall maneuvers. The slightest motion of his body controls the direction of his movement through the air. At all times, the skydiver must be able to stabilize himself in flight. The smoke grenades are important in tracking rate of fall and wind drift for the tactical military situations involving the paratrooper. A vertical descent at 120 miles an hour might carry the jumper horizontally as fast as 60 miles an hour. Parachutes must be opened at a minimum of 2,200 feet from the ground, and all free fall maneuvers must be completed before descent to that altitude. Being able to maneuver and stay together in the air allows the sky soldiers to track as a group and land in the same area for assembly and deployment.